What's happening? All right. Today we're being joined by Neeve Taylor, who plays for the Murray Bushrangers and a future draft prospect. Neeve, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Cooper. Thanks for having me.
No worries, any time. Tell us about your footy journey, Neeve. What kind of got you into footy and what type of position you play on the footy field.
Yeah, so I started a couple of years ago at Wodonga Bulldogs, just with some friends. Dad was really keen on getting me started. He really wanted me to, so I don't know. He was kind of egging me on, so I guess that helped. And then one of my good friends, Tali Jackson, who had originally started, she also got me into it. And then we both moved over to the Raiders, and then obviously got into the Murray Bushrangers, and then this is my third year with them, so it's been really good.
That's good. So how did you go from that transition from Wodonga to Murray, and how did you notice this change straight away in terms of expectations and just the level of footy as well?
Yeah, so I think there was the trials going on or something with Bushies, and then our coach got us onto that, and then obviously we went over to the Bushies, tried our best, got in, and then after that, the preseason, obviously, I don't think I'd really done much footy preseason before Bushies, so that was a big turnaround, a lot of expectations, and it was hard, but it was good. I saw a big improvement in my footy after being with the Bushies in the first year. The preseason was definitely hard, lots of running, lots of high expectations, but it was good.
It's good. What has this preseason been like so far, heading into another season, which is right around the corner?
Yeah, it's been really good. The girls have been so good, so high on energy, and everyone's just been really good. Lots of fitness we've been doing, getting ready for testing in the first rounds, of course, but it's been really good, really strong, I reckon, so far, so it'll be good.
That's good. So obviously last year, from a team point of view, you struggled to get some wins on the board. But how do you try and put that to the side? Obviously, winning, everyone wants to win. I mean, if you don't want to win, you shouldn't be playing, obviously. But obviously, it can be through a tough time. And trust me, I will know all about losing. Every team I've seen it being always losers. So how do you try and combat that and try and stay motivated for the next week and the weeks after that?
Yeah, I definitely think just strong mindsets, trying to keep on top of everything, and then when we come back to training, it's just watching the games back and seeing what we can improve on all together. I think it'll be really good. I think that everyone will be really adapting. So this year's going to be good, I reckon.
Let's hope so. And what would you say some of your strengths, Neeve, that you got as a footballer?
I reckon my marking would be a good one. But yeah, so I reckon that's good in the back line as well. So strong hands.
For sure. Now, obviously, last year, with the scores of how they were, there was a lot of times the ball was in the back line all the time. I was going to use a soccer reference then, but in the back line all the time. How has it been in challenge? Obviously, there's so many good forwards that have been drafted from the previous draft that you would have played against. Have you taken any learning experiences and from even other players that are in your top 8 year now, like yourself, that you kind of learned from to kind of play that role and kind of combat against opposition as well?
Yeah, I think it's been good, getting the experience in the back line, and then obviously the really good forwards, just trying to look off their confidence and how they handle the ball, good hands, and just being strong with it. So it's been good to watch them develop and try and get tips myself from them. So
very good. Obviously being in the back line, people always don't really recognise the defenders too much, Neeve, I reckon. Obviously, the forwards get all the recognition with the goals they kick and the midfielders with all the disposals they get. Defenders, I feel like in the official landscape from a public point of view, I don't feel like they get recognised as much in terms of awards at least. Obviously, the other positions got the Brownlow and the Coleman, and Rucks get recognised at Brownlow rates. Do you defenders, Neeve, deserve an official title of an award in that position as well?
I reckon that'd be good to have an official title. Backstated, I reckon.
We definitely do. Now, the jumper number 18, as it's been on show right now, how did the jumper number 18 come about, and is it a number you like, or is it just a number, or is there a significance behind it?
Nah, to be honest, it's just a number. Last year I got it, and then obviously just rolled into this year. I do like the number, but not too much meaning behind it.
No meaning behind it. It's fair. Obviously, you've played 8 career games for the Bushrangers, correct me if I'm wrong, around that in your short time there so far. Is there any games for the Bushrangers that stand out for you that were some memorable games for you individually in those 8 games?
Yeah. So last year especially, I think it was my first 2 games maybe, against Gippsland and then also Bendigo Pioneers. I think that those 2 were my highlights. And then, yeah, I didn't play too many after that. I got injured and then also trying to juggle netball. So, yeah.
Okay.
But those first 2
Now,
games, I reckon.
success good. Now you just mentioned netball, which we'll get to that shortly about playing both sports. So how do you actually get to it now? How do you juggle both then? Is it to a point now where you have to stop one and stick to one, or can you still juggle both?
Yeah, it's definitely been difficult. Last year, I would say, was a bit easier not being top age. But
Yeah.
this year, I had to kind of lock in and really decide what I want to do. So, I'm focusing on footy. I've let netball know, and then just on the off games where I can fill in netball, I will. But it's definitely been hard over the past couple of years juggling trainings and games and everything. But it's worked out pretty well.
That's good. Now, for the Bushrangers, you had a career goal in those 8 games so far. Do you remember that goal, and how did you go celebrating with it?
I think I do. I think it was one of my first or second games, I think. I hadn't really played forward at all, and one of our 16s coach, I think it was in that game, Waldo, he just chucked me in, and I don't know, it was all kind of a blur. I got the ball fast and just tried to get it on my boot, and then it just all happened so fast. I don't afterwards, I don't really think many people noticed. It was just all such a blur. It just happened so fast, but it was cool.
That's good. Do you ever have a go-to goal celebration just in general? Not even in that moment, just in general. Do you have a celebration that you always have in the mind? And whether you pick goals frequently or not, is there always one in the back of your mind where you want to do?
No, to be honest, I haven't really thought of many celebrations. Goals just haven't really come across my mind. I think mainly being in the back. So yeah.
That's good. What nicknames do you get at the club that you like or dislike?
Yeah, so I mainly get called Neeve, and then also Squiz comes about sometimes. So
Okay.
yeah, so my dad gets called that after, I think it was a gangster. But yeah, one of
Okay.
the dads did that on the sideline, and then the coaches caught on it, and then so did my teammates. So it's cool.
It's definitely a different one I wouldn't have picked for sure.
Yeah,
Now
definitely.
we're talking for sure, and we just talked about Bushrangers moments for you making your debut. Do you recall the debut game, your first game for the Bushrangers, and how that was, and how were you feeling kind of going into that?
Yeah, so my debut was in my first year with, again, my good mate Tali. So that was really cool to debut with her. But yeah, so it was a very nerve-wracking time. I don't think I played very good, but it was definitely very scary. I can't remember who it was against either, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think I kind of just flew under the radar a bit, didn't do too much.
That's all right then, because sometimes you want to eliminate the nerves. Sometimes you just don't want to overstress yourself, or overdo it. I guess. Did you know? If you remember, did you know you were playing days in advance, or was it like the day of? Was it giving you enough time to think about it?
Yeah, no, I think we had training the Wednesday, and then I found out that day. I didn't know any prior to, so it was
Okay.
very surprising. I didn't believe it when I got told.
That's good. So, in terms of overall footy career, most this can be at Wodonga or anywhere that you've played. Is there any particular footy accolades that you've won, individual awards, or any premierships that you won over your footy career or sporting career?
I've won, I think in footy, I won a most improved a couple years ago.
Nice.
And then netball, I've won a best and fairest. And
Mm-hmm.
then obviously with Wodonga Raiders, the past 2 years we've made the grand final. Unfortunately, lost to Lavi both times, but it was still a good experience to be in. So it was really cool. Yeah.
That's for sure. I mean, obviously, again, clearly you want to win. But how was the atmosphere in that? Like, you compare that to a standard home and away game, and you compare it to that. I'm sure the feeling, and yes, I did say my team always lose, but there was 1 year in both cricket and footy where we won. Well, it wasn't back to back, but back to back sports in the one season, one after the other. And then literally after that, every other age group I've been in, senior grade or whatever, dead set, never made finals at all. Most of the time on the bottom of the ladder. Some years
Oh, no.
winless. So
Yeah.
I mean, you just take those moments and you try and savor them. I know it was a loss, but savor the moments of actually getting there, because you just don't know if it's ever going to happen again, and no one knows.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely hard to get into. They come around very fast, and only obviously 2 teams can make it. But the atmosphere is so insane compared to just home and away games, because obviously everyone is to support either team. So it's pretty cool.
For sure. It absolutely is an interesting experience for sure. Now, obviously, footy teams. Obviously, everyone's got their footy team. Neve, who have you got?
I go for Collingwood. So
The Pie.
yeah, so Dad definitely brought us into that. We kind of got forced into it since we were younger. We had no other choice, but I'm happy with it.
So yeah, they're going all right. They've had a good trade period in the men's, obviously bringing Dan Houston, Timmy Member, and Harry Perman. So yeah, you'll go all right this year.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we should. Have you got any footy role models, Neve, whether it's in the men's or women's that you kind of look up to, or kind of model your game off even?
Yeah. So I definitely love to watch Monique Conti and Scott Pendlebury, two
Mm-hmm.
of my faves. I would say they're very big role models to me, and I love watching their games. So
Two superstars, the best in the AFLW, Mon Conti, and then Scott Pendlebury, one of the greatest players of all time, especially at Collingwood. And two very fantastic people to look up to, and both superstars for sure. Now, you're talking about kind of getting forced into going for Collingwood. Is it one of those scenarios where you wouldn't want to go for Collingwood's arch rival, so you couldn't go for an Essendon or a Carlton?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. My mum actually goes for Carlton.
Oh, interesting.
So it was a bit of a struggle. So Dad forced us all into going for Collingwood, but sometimes I would feel bad for Mum and swap to Carlton, but I couldn't let Dad know. But I've definitely gone into Collingwood.
That's good. Now, I'm going to ask you some teammate questions. I love asking these teammate questions, Steve, because they can go any which way at all, and you know that. So the first one will be, which teammate would Google themselves and watch your own highlights? Who would do that?
This is tough. I don't know. I feel like everyone would definitely have like their highlights they'd watch, but I think Rain Dodd would.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And if you produce some highlights like she's produced, well, then I mean, I don't blame anyone for doing that. But again, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just a question. Absolutely. Now, which teammates love the limelight, Neve, the attention, the camera, and they can't get enough of it, and they know what to do when the camera's around?
I'm going to have to say the same as Rain, Molly McLaren. She knows how to pose for the camera. She's a spotlight, so she's confident, and that's good. She knows what to do, so inspiration.
Sure. Who's some teammates that fly under the radar and don't get talked about as much as you feel they should?
I would say Eliza Roach. She works so hard, and she has incredible skills, and I think she will go very far, so I'm excited to watch her.
That's good. If you were stuck on a deserted island with teammates, who would you be bringing and not bringing, and why?
I think I would bring Tully Jackson, Rain Dodd, and Eliza Roach. And then not bring, as much as I love them, Nikita Spiteri, Connie Dodd, and who else? Nikita Nixon.
There you go. And Spiteri got mentioned. I think Dottie mentioned her in that same spot, so stiff. Yeah. But here we are.
Fun if she come.
That's right. Best singer at the club. Now, Dottie did tell me and pulled back the curtain a little bit that Nikita Spiteri did have a bit of I think it was a dancing or something. And Nikita didn't tell me that at all. Who would you throw under the bus there in that spot?
I did hear that. I haven't heard Nikita sing too much, but I'd love to hear her. I would say Rain Dodd, though. I've heard her do some singing. She gets up and about in the warm-ups with the songs, so I'd say it'd be her.
Yeah, Dottie did admit to that. Didn't specify what, but did admit to that. So there we go. All right. Now, again, similar type of question here. TV show. If any teammate could be on a TV show, yourself included, who would be on what would the show be and who would be on it?
Me personally, I would love to be on Family Feud. I think that would be cool.
That's a good one.
I don't know. What are some other ones?
What type of show?
I'm not too sure.
I think Nikita mentioned I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out Here, which I found a bit interesting.
Yeah.
I can't remember what Dottie said off the top of my head, but Family Feud's a good one. Fun fact, I've actually been in the crowd for Family Feud before, not on the show. I wish I was. About 10 years ago, yeah. No, 9 years ago, but yeah, a long time ago. But
That's cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would love to be on a show like that. That or a Deal or No Deal or something like that. That'd be
Yeah, true. I would also love to
and
see
just
Nikita's theory on I'm a Celebrity though.
well, there you go. You got 2 votes for that now. Here we go. There we go. If footy doesn't work out, there you go. Go on that show.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
Now, who is the loudest and quietest teammates?
The loudest are definitely the Dodds, both Rain and Connie. They're up there. And
Yeah.
then the quietest, maybe Chloe Lewis. She's quiet, but
Okay.
she's good. She's deadly but silent.
That's right. Now, I mean, you can be vocal on a footy. I think talking and being loud is a good thing, especially in football terms. As you know, you need to talk on a footy field. You can't be quiet. And that's why I asked this type of question, because sometimes you want to see who's the most vocal ones in the group and kind of bring that together. But that's good. Now, yourself, Neeve, has leadership ever been something you've ever been a part of in any sport or any form of life? And is that something you ever want to be a part of?
Yeah. So I was captain last year for my netball team. So that was definitely
Nice.
a cool experience. Definitely a much smaller team compared to footy. So I think footy would be probably a bit harder, but it would definitely be cool to be a part of if the chance was there. So
Sure, that's right. Favorite TV shows or movies that you have?
I love Modern Family and Friends. Those kind of shows. They're always funny, good to watch. And movies. I love the rom-coms. I think it's called The Other Woman. That one's a good movie. Definitely a fave.
Yeah, I said the first 2 shows that you mentioned, the TV shows, Modern Family and Friends, they seem to be ones that always get mentioned, and well, that's why they're popular for a reason, I guess.
Yeah.
They always get mentioned in some way, shape, or form. Now, this I haven't asked the other girls these questions. Since you're the first one to get asked this,
Okay, I'm scared.
this might ruffle a few feathers here, but who is and you can only choose one, who is the best player at the Murray Bushrangers right now?
Oh, right now.
This
is hard.
I know.
Between, I would say, Nikita Spiteri and Rain Dodd, definitely between those. And I would say Rose Bell is definitely up there too. So I don't know, hard to choose between those. I don't know if I can, but they're definitely
that's fair. I'll save you there. 3-way tie. That's right.
Yeah.
3-way tie. 3-way tie. Now, I love asking food questions, which you may or may not have seen that with the other girls. Now, is it streak that you have to have? So Nikita got 5 out of 6, and Dottie got 6 out of 6. So only 14 people. Yeah, only 14 people have got these food questions fully correct to how I would answer them out of over 150 people. So the strike rate isn't great. Now, the lowest score is so many people tied on 3. So no one's got 2 or less before. So no one's ever joined this fake honours board. And at this point, I keep calling it a fake honours board. But at this point, when I've had so many people not get below it, I think I might have to actually put someone's name on there for real if they get under. So you wouldn't recommend to be the first out of that many people. But anyway, how are you with controversial food topics, Neeve? Are you all right with food, or you reckon this could go any way?
Yeah, I'd say I'm good. I hope.
Let's see. All right, the first one, and the most important one of them all, chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
It's a palmy.
Thank you very much. Good, 1 for 1. That's the way. Because, I argued, Neeve, with 2 people. I don't really get worked up with food questions, but that one I will. Yeah. It's literally in the name. It's spelled with an I, and it's pronounced Parmigiana. That's an I. So any other answer is just wrong.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. Thank you very much. Right. Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Damn it. How did I know that was going to be the answer there? That's right. You can't get 6 out of 6, but let's see how you go. All right, 1 out of 2. That's okay. Close enough. Tomato sauce, cupboard or fridge?
Cupboard.
Good answer. 2 for 3. Favorite food? We need 1 more, or at least 1 more. Favorite food?
Okay. Pasta.
Great answer. Safe answer. I like it. 3 for 4. Good. Food you don't like?
Pumpkins.
Interesting. I'll give that 4 for 5. Now to equal Nikita. Favorite takeaway spot / restaurant, or favorite takeaway place, / restaurant.
Okay. Is it like my
so
favorite?
Like if Yeah, so you can say like a McDonald's or a certain type of restaurant. It doesn't have to be a specific name. It can be like just a generalized, like I say, a meat place or a certain
Yeah.
burger place.
Okay. I love Chinese food. It's my go-to takeaway.
Okay.
So yummy.
That's good. Not too bad there. I'll give you that 5 out of 6. Good job. See, yeah, didn't have to worry about nothing.
Woo!
Just equal with Nikita, so you weren't dead last
I'll take
in
it.
your group. So yeah, that's good. Now, just a curiosity, what is your go-to order at the Chinese
Um,
place?
some fried rice with sweet and sour chicken, and
Okay.
then I love the prawn crackers as well. So they're always
Oh yeah,
yummy. Yep.
yeah. No one. I don't. Well, maybe they have. I just can't remember. But I don't believe anyone's ever said the prawn crackers before. I actually don't mind them.
Yeah.
Those pink ones. They're actually not bad.
Yep. Yep.
Not bad. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right. Game day superstitions, Neve. Do you have any game day superstitions you must do?
Um, I wouldn't say they're too out of the blue, but I always have to wear my hair in a bun, and
Oh
I
yeah.
like to wear 2 pairs of socks. So that's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
it. Yep.
I've heard the socks one before. Not common, but it's. Is there a reason behind this? Is it like just a? I don't know. I don't know. What is there a certain reason?
I don't know. I think comfort. I get a lot of blisters, so I think it helps. But yeah, now that I started it, I can't stop.
That's fair. What footy boots you wear? Like what color boots? Is there any particular brands of footy boots?
Yeah, so I've always been with Asics. I think they're the most comfy. And then right now, I just got a new pair, so they're white and blue.
Mm. And I think Asics, if you're listening, help Neve out and some
Yeah,
freebies.
exactly.
Giving you free plugs, getting new boots, and they're still the same brand. That's loyalty for you, right there.
Yeah, yep.
Well, day or night person?
Um, I would say day. I love my
That's
sleep, and I like being awake. So yeah.
for sure. What's the best piece of advice anyone has ever given you, whether it's a coach, teammate, a family member, anyone is? What's the best piece of advice you've been given?
I think it would be my coaches.
Yep.
Definitely when saying that it's all mental and just to keep pushing yourself. So even if
Mhm.
you think you're tired, it's only your brain telling you you're tired. So you just got to keep going.
Hmm. Very interesting. Now, I mentioned this earlier, briefly about terms of like not setbacks, but like how do you stay positive and all that motivated during a loss? You mentioned a bit before, but I want to expand a little bit on that and like how, as a club, obviously, side, hopefully this year, as you said, go up. But how do you all kind of be motivated and have a smile on your face still?
Yeah, I think that the motivation at training and just keeping our talk up is really good. Even if something doesn't go our way, the encouragement to keep everyone still going is really good. And then just working on improvements, like even if it's just little, like step by step, any
Mm.
improvement counts. So
For sure. And some things I was just thinking of then is probably like little wins as well, even in quarters. Like say, I know a lot of people don't care about percentage on the ladder, and I feel like a lot of people should in general and teams, because sometimes you miss out on the end of the year comes around and you miss out by 2% in finals, and people are like, oh, maybe if we did this and that, well, maybe in that moment, if you worry about these little things, like if there's a certain game, where you
yeah,
can't win and not give up on it, and that percentage just gets worse and worse the more you let them keep going. I don't think people understand that somehow. And another
yeah,
thing, too, in quarter by quarter, like you're down by 50 points at 3 quarter time, you probably know, unfortunately, you're not going to win. But try and win
yeah,
that last quarter as well. Try to have some little goal out of it.
yeah, definitely. Definitely the quarter by quarter helps a lot, trying to set those little goals in between.
Hmm. If you could have any superpowers, Neve, what superpowers would they be?
Invisibility. I think that it would go down the best. You can just hide wherever, and like a lot of people say flight, but I reckon if you had invisibility, you could just get onto a plane and go wherever, and no one would know. So
For
I reckon it
sure.
has
And I
those
mean,
one.
that's right. And I mean, John Cena, no one can see him either.
Exactly.
Exactly. They go. Now, all right. Some of your most prized possessions, Neve, that you own.
Ooh, I don't know.
No special Guernseys, memorabilia, frames, anything?
No, not really.
No, fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah. Favorite app on your phone?
Probably TikTok. I would say it entertains me the most. So just love to have a little scroll on that at night.
Fair enough. Are you a poster or just a scroller?
Oh, bit of both, in between. I do
Bit of
love to
both.
have a good time sometimes, but scrolling's where it's at.
Scrolling's where it's at. What is one of the most viewed TikToks that you got?
I think it might have been my Deb one. I
Okay,
think it maybe got 8,000 or something. So
that's
yeah.
decent. Decent numbers. Good. Very good. Now, favorite music. This could go anywhere, but favorite music.
Oh, I don't know. Wouldn't say I really have a type. I get a bit
Mm-hmm.
scared with music. I feel like people are so judgy, and I'm not someone that knows too much about it. So,
Same.
but I don't know. I just love the classic like 2000s. Like white girl music, get you pumped.
Mm-hmm. That's fair enough. Yeah, I know some people get worked up over what people say for questions, don't they?
Yeah.
They get very, very worked up. Now, what are some fun facts about you, Neve, that people may not know about you, or little people know about you?
Ooh, I'm not too sure. I can't really think of any off my head.
Any hidden talents? Are you a singer? Are you a dancer? So these are things that people don't like saying.
Ooh. Yeah, definitely not. That was not my chosen life. I'm very bad at singing and dancing, so that would be bad to catch me doing any of that.
Fair enough. No, no, no juggling.
Nope, terrible at juggling too.
There you go. Uh, Back to a teammate question for just a second. Who is the best chatterbox at the club?
Rain Dodd. She loves to have a chat to everyone. She's got to be the friendliest person, so it's always good to have a chat to her.
Very good. Is there any AFL or AFLW player interactions you've ever had as a fan before? And if so, were they any memorable or forgettable moments?
Um, I don't think I've really had too many interactions. A couple times
Mhm.
they might have like come to school or like had a chat with us there. And then the only other one would be my cousin played AFL for Carlton, so I guess had some good interactions with him.
Oh, nice. Was that a recent? Was it?
So he just stopped playing. So Caleb
Okay.
Marchbank. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Talk about an unfortunate, wretched run of injuries for Caleb, but good key
Yeah.
defender. But so many injuries.
Yes, definitely. Unfortunately, the injuries got too much for him.
So is that where the Carlton side of the family supporting came from Caleb being there?
No, so my mum already went for Carlton, and then her
Mm-hmm.
dad also went for Carlton. So it goes down a little bit, but it definitely helped when he started playing for Carlton.
Absolutely. There you go. Interesting. That was a fun fact. You could have said that.
I know. I'm not a very
that's,
fast thinker, so
that's fair. Fair game. That's fair enough. Now, you're talking about a lot of the girls, a few of the girls, whereas Dottie and Nikita have mentioned this so far about traveling to trainings and game days and everything like that. How do you kind of combat that, Neve? Obviously, I'm sure it's a tough thing for a side where Murray is located, having to go travel to Melbourne or go to a Geelong team or an interstate one even. So how do you kind of combat that traveling? Is this something you got used to now? And how long does it take you to have to go back and forth all the time for the closer
yeah.
session?
So the traveling is definitely a big part of being with Bushies, I would say. To trainings,
Mm.
Wang, it takes probably about 45 minutes.
Okay.
So it's not too bad, but sometimes the nights feel dragged and like you're tired on the way
Mm.
home. But yeah, and then games in Melbourne, definitely some of them have been early mornings, but you kind of get used to it. I guess you have to do it. It's very different to the Melbourne teams and like our traveling, I would say. But it's not too bad. I'm kind of used to it now.
I'm sure that's all right. I mean, I think I'm just trying to think one other time. Man, Ballarat. What's the longest trip you've had to do for a game of footy? Have you had to play at Ballarat before? Because I'm just trying to think of how everything would be mapped out. That might be the furthest one.
Yeah, I think that would be the furthest I would say. I don't think I've played in Ballarat, but I would say that would be the
Hmm.
furthest we've had to go. I think the furthest, oh, well, actually, I'm pretty sure the girls did 1 year go to Tassie, but I
Oh
guess
yeah.
everyone has a far way to go for everyone. But the furthest I've gone is just the outskirts of Melbourne. So,
Okay. That's all. You had to avoid that. It's a good thing in a way. That'd be a nightmare. 'Cause I know for certain, being from Geelong, that Ballarat's an hour and a half from Geelong, and I know that near Murray, and that's like 3 hours. So I was trying to add them up together. That'd be a nightmare doing 4.5 hours, or if it's something around there, that'd be crazy. Especially if you're in an early morning game.
Yep. The days definitely
Absolutely.
feel long with those traveling.
I know. No matter if you win or not, that is just that's a lot as itself in itself. Now, all right. Mark or goal of the year, Neeve. Which one would you rather do, and why?
I would say goal of the year. I feel like the build up to goal of the year would be a lot like more interactive, and then also the celebration after a goal would be so cool. So I would say goal of the year.
Absolutely, and yeah, you definitely would be bringing out a goal celebration. We spoke about it earlier that you would definitely be bringing one out then.
I'll try.
Sure, unless you get mobbed already by the time you can think of it doing anything. That too. Now, if you can add in the distance, the angle, the moment, the occasion, Neve, as unrealistic as you want, what would you love that perfect goal of the year to be?
Ooh, I would say like on the boundary and do like a shot, like banana kick from far out, I would say, and on the run kinda.
Yep, on the boundary, nothing better than that. Now, crowd hecklers, Neve. Have you ever copped anything from behind the fence while you've been playing? And how would you combat it? Would you be one to bite back? Would you just ignore them? Would you even hear them? How would you go with that? If it has happened, fair to explain? Care to explain?
Yeah, so I don't think it has happened. I
Okay.
don't think I would want it to happen either. I would probably be one to get very scared. I would not have it in me to bite back. I'd probably I feel like I would hear them, but I don't know. I'd try not to let it get to me, but it would scare me.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I got a few more for you, Neve. So I do really appreciate you coming on. If you could, that's it. Just lost where I was trying to thought then. So interstate trips, you just mentioned before about the outskirts of Melbourne, so you've never had to go to an interstate trip before for footy?
No, I haven't.
No, lucky. The reason I asked, I was gonna say, heights. Are you scared? Are you one that's scared of heights, or heights don't fear you?
I feel like I would say now that they don't scare me, but if I got up high, they would definitely scare me. I feel like I'm in between. Depends how high.
All right, because well, planes then, for example, that would be a no-go then.
I could do planes. We've been on a few planes, but yeah, I think I could do that.
That's fair enough. I mean, trust me, I do not like planes. I never, if I can avoid doing so, I will. In saying that, I did it twice on my own choice. In 2024, twice to Perth. One in Feb, one in September. Both for my own choice. One was going to the wrestling in Perth at Optus, and then the second one in September was for my channel doing goal kicking challenges. But hey, that's what you do when you love your channel, right?
Yeah, exactly. How did you go on the air then?
Yeah. Well, the first one I was with someone, and then the second one I was on my own. Trust me, the first one was not good, even with someone. Especially in the very first one. Technically, I went on when I was younger, like 3, but you don't remember that, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. So yeah, I knew about, when they give you all the tests, they say about the face mask they put on and everything like that, and then all the what do you call it, the drills they do in case you need to do this. I'm like, thanks. I'm already worrying about all this stuff, even though they do it. But I'm trying not to listen to it. But you can't when they stop right in front of you. Like the person that was doing the instructions was right in front of me using my demonstration stuff to do. I'm like, so I can't literally look away because they're standing next to me.
That's all you have to think about.
And then then you're worrying about being in the air, then you're worrying about the demonstration. And then at the very end, it shook down and it shaked when the plane was trying to land. And that scared the shit out of me because I did not know about that. And I didn't yell or anything, but I was shitting myself in my mind going, fuck, For that whole minute, I'm like, God. But when I went the second time on my own, I still had the nerves thinking, shit, this is going to happen. But I tried to, in my head, go, okay, it's going to happen again because it happened on the way back as well. So I'm like, okay, this must just be a thing that's going to happen. So just try and get through it. And I actually, surprisingly, on my own, the second time around, I was better with it. Probably because I assumed it was going to happen again, so I prepared for it.
Yeah, that's good.
Again,
Are you someone who will clap when the plane lands?
well, not clap. I'll be like, thank Christ this shit's over. And then,
Yeah.
like, you want to go back to Geelong in my case, but like, you don't want to do that whole shtick again.
Yeah.
So it's like
yeah.
awkward wanting to go back. But yeah, nah, not too bad. Will I do it again? Who knows? Probably,
We'll
but yeah, and I definitely don't want to though. If I can
Yeah.
avoid it now. But here we are. Now the last one for you needs to do. Really appreciate you coming on. Is just like with Dottie and just like with Nikita. What is your bold call for season 2025? Now this can be in regards to anything. This can be in regards to Bushies, Collingwood, anything. What is your bold call? Oh, and I've got an additional question on top of that, but we'll let you do this first.
Okay. I would like to say that Collingwood would win a grand final again. And then I think also for Bushies, we will definitely get a few more wins on the board. I reckon we can I reckon we can aim for very high, but we'll start with 5, I reckon. That would be good. I think we'll be strong, so we'll hope.
That's good. And then with Collingwood, did you get to go to that 2018 grand final? The Dom Sheed one?
No, I actually didn't. I think my dad might have. He ended up getting a late ticket, so he ditched the rest of us and went.
Fair enough. Well, it would have been a nightmare coming back after having that happen. Dom Sheed giving Collingwood fans still nightmares. But did you get to go to the one against Brisbane a couple of years ago?
No, I didn't.
No.
Just had to sit at home and watch on the TV.
Well, that's fair. I mean, if this makes you feel any better, in 2010 with St Kilda, because I go for St Kilda, played Collingwood, right? I didn't get to go to the drawn grand final. A family member did, but I didn't. And then for the replay, where we got slaughtered after having so many injuries after the first granny, no replays no more. Funny that. Then I got to go to that game and watch us get pumped by 60 points or whatever it was.
Yeah, unlucky. That's all right. It would have been cool being able to go, but
for sure. For sure. But anyway, and the last one. So if you're in charge of the Coach Talent League, the AFL or the AFLW, and you're the CEO for a day, Neeve, your opinion is the only one that matters here. You're in charge. What rules are you adding and or removing?
I would remove where you have to stand still completely on the mark. I would remove that one.
Stand rule, yep.
Yep. And then I would love to make that hitting the post is extra points.
So, like, if it just, like, goes through the points after hitting the post or ricocheting back in, or?
So, in the 2 goal posts, if you hit that, instead of it being 1 point, it should be more.
Gotcha. Don't mind that. It's an issue. So sometimes, I think that could be something interesting because I feel like it's harder to hit the post sometimes. It seems to happen a lot, but, like, it's harder than you think.
Exactly.
When you aim for it, it's hard. And when you're not aiming for it, it seems to be easy to hit the bloody post.
Yeah, exactly.
But here we are. Neeve, it's been a pleasure having you on. All the best for the rest of this upcoming Murray Bushrangers season. And hopefully everything happens the way you want it to be. And appreciate you coming on.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Cooper.
No worries, anytime.